People are always looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, like winning the lottery, or being on top of a pyramid scheme or multi-level marketing plan, or simply inheriting money. At the end of my last video, in fact, I jokingly asked, are there scholarships for adults? Now, of course, I'm kidding and avoid get-rich-quick schemes at all costs. In today's video, I'm gonna share a realistic fast path to $1 million, starting with $0. Spoiler, it still requires hard work and dedication. By the way, this video is rated TR for time rich. This isn't about money for the sake of money or joining the 2 Comma Club. This is about getting more time back, freedom of choice. By the way, 2 Comma Club reminds me of that guy from Silicon Valley. Russ Hanneman. I hate that guy. Don't be that guy. Like I said, becoming a millionaire takes hard work, creativity, and a willingness to take consistent action. I like to call it taking small steps day in and day out, because here's the key. These small efforts compound over time, which is foreshadowing for a tip to come. But far too often people get hung up thinking about the fast path. Even really smart, good people get distracted by these thoughts. We think about someone we know who made it, and we wonder what their secret is. We think about buying stock in the next Apple, Tesla, or Netflix. We want to replicate what the Kardashians did. Okay, nobody watching my channel actually wants to replicate what the Kardashians did, but you get my point. People want magic. They want to make it or touch it. They don't necessarily, though, have the drive and determination to work extremely hard for it. On the opposite side, some people just know deep down they're going to make it. Anything else is not acceptable. They don't look around and wonder. They believe in themselves and they're willing to put in the effort and do what it takes to achieve their goals. By the way, that's actually step 1 of 7 I'm covering here today. You can only become a millionaire if you believe it. You can only watch the rest of this video if you're an optimist, if you're grateful for your money and you want to do good with it. So let's talk about what it really looks like to go from nothing, heck, possibly negative money, to millionaire in 10 years so that you have the option to retire early or keep doing what you love. Quick disclaimer, of course, these beliefs are my own. I'm not a certified financial planner. This video is for entertainment purposes. Don't take your financial advice from random people on the internet. By the way, my name is Frankie. This is the Money Resolution, where we resolve to get good with money so we can retire on time or early. I'm the author of the Money Resolution and Money You Can Hack It. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like this video if you get some value out of it, and let's dive in. Number 1. I already hit on it, but I'll elaborate just a bit. It's to believe that you can do it. I really enjoyed making money mindset videos recently here on the channel, but I know I can't do it for every video. People need real, actionable advice. However, if you don't have your mind right, if you don't think it's possible, if you don't have a positive attitude and courage to take action, you're gonna continue to do what you've always done and continue to get the same results you've always gotten. So instead, believe that you can because you can. Journal about it. Say daily affirmations, visualize it, meditate on it, create a vision board, record a video motivating your future self that you can watch when you're feeling down. Start a freaking YouTube channel documenting your journey, not for others, just for you to start. It's an excellent way to share positivity and hold yourself accountable. Well, I got a little off track there, but a reminder where I started with step number 1 is to believe in yourself. You can achieve any long-term goal if you set your mind to it. Tip number 2 here, break it down to realistic goals by year. The obvious way to break down your goal to $1 million over 10 years is to simply say you need to save and invest $100,000 a year. Well, unless you're making $150,000 or more right now, saving $100,000 is going to sound near impossible. It's not realistic, and you're probably going to lose all motivation before you even get started. So instead, even without a clear path in terms of income and investing, let's create a path that sounds and feels more believable by weighing your income to the back half or even final third of the 10 years. This is for 2 reasons. Number 1, you're just getting started, and right now you probably have a fixed income and lots to learn. Number 2, once you start making money and investing it, you're gonna be earning exponentially more money year over year. That's because of the power of compound interest, where your interest you earn, your earnings, over time also earn interest, and it can snowball from there. So I'll put on screen a path I just quickly developed before recording this video. It might sound and feel a little bit more believable. As you can see, in year 1, 25,000, 2, 35,000, then 45,000, 65,000 in year 4, 85,000 in year 5. We don't hit $100,000 saved and invested until year 6, $120,000 in year 7, 145 in year 8, 170, 210. You can read. I didn't have to read all that. But what do you think of this plan? Does $1 million feel a little more believable when you see it laid out this way? This is saving and investing $255,000 over the first 5 years. So 75% of your saving and investing will happen in the second 5 years. And yeah, that's a lot no matter how you slice it. But again, if you believe in yourself and put in the work, you can get there. Especially if you keep learning and taking action and have a realistic path or plan like this one. Step number 3 or tip number 3 is to increase your income. Earn more money. Great tip, Frankie. I know. I know. But hear me out on this one because there's a lot more to it than the obvious and more than one way to skin the cat. Sorry, I hate that phrase. There are actually 3 ways that you can earn more money I'm going to quickly discuss. The first and most obvious and maybe the easiest is increasing your current wage at your traditional 9 to 5. It might be as simple as asking for a raise, especially if you haven't earned one or gotten one in the last 2 years. Have an open and honest conversation and you might be surprised how this one conversation could put more money in your pocket. Or of course, you can look for a different, better paying job. You may only earn 2 to 3% raises annually and that's not going to move the needle significantly. But getting a new job is one way you might be able to earn exponentially more, perhaps even 10% more. The next way to earn more money is simply to side hustle. You're going to trade your extra time for money at nights and on the weekends. This could be driving for Uber, taking surveys online, babysitting or mowing neighbors' lawns, take on a consulting gig, take photos of businesses for their social media and Yelp pages. You know what a side hustle is, I don't need to explain it, but aim to earn at least half of what you would earn at work, ideally more. The third and I think most important way to earn more money is to build passive income streams. Just like side hustles, I put together a whole video about passive income, so check that one out next. And passive income, by the way, isn't just earning money while you sleep, as people like to say. It's earning a disproportionate amount of money than you could with your time. For me, that was writing books, like I mentioned, earning dividends, and soon selling courses. YouTube is also a recent example of that for me since crossing 1,000 subscribers here on the channel. In fact, if you watch this ad for more than 30 seconds, it puts a few cents in my pocket. Tip number 4 to becoming a millionaire in 10 years is to invest early and invest often. I already alluded to the power of compound interest, so I'm not going to talk too much about it here. And again, I have plenty of investing videos on the topic, but I want to make sure I emphasize the earlier you learn about investing and get started, the better. If you do this in your early 20s, we're not just talking $1 million in 10 years or $2 million over 20 years. We could be talking $3 million over the next 5 years or $5 million in your lifetime. And I know it sounds a little bit dramatic, but it's honestly true. And to just do a super quick exercise, let's say you earn $100,000. You would need to achieve a savings rate of 69% invested to earn $1 million over 10 years if that money earned an 8% rate of return. But more important, I'm gonna give you in one sentence the investing strategy I use and recommend. Max out all of your tax-advantaged retirement accounts such as your 401k, Roth IRA, and HSA, and invest in an index fund that tracks either the entire stock market or the S&P 500. Do not pick individual stocks and don't worry about bonds in your 20s, 30s, or maybe even 40s. Okay, that's 2 sentences, but I had to say, do not pick individual stocks. Very important. Oh, and be mindful of fees. They'll slowly eat away at your returns over time. Brevity is not my strength. If this video is under 20 minutes, I consider that a win. Tip number 5 is to buy a home and or buy a rental property or rental properties. It's a weird way of saying invest in real estate. Many people would argue investing in real estate is the only way to be investing in the market in the long term. It's safe, it's steady, it's proven, but you must have the startup capital to get involved and lots of knowledge to make it work for you. Plus, being a landlord can actually feel like a full-time job in and of itself. I put this one lower on the list because I know it to be true, but I don't know it to be true firsthand. It's not something I've done personally. It's not something I spend a lot of time studying, but I do know that it works. If you have the capital to make a home buying investment or two, it's a great option. If you want to learn more, definitely check out Graham Stephan's channel, Meet Kevin's YouTube channel as well. I also recommend the Bigger Pockets Real Estate podcast. Now, one of the best ways I've heard to do this is to buy a duplex or triplex, like Graham Stephan. If and when I do buy instead of rent, a duplex is the way I'd like to go. I just can't do it here in the heart of Seattle, but that's another story. And now that I have some money, saved and set aside, I'm actually looking to invest in a rental property in the next couple of years. So let me know if you know a good resource for learning more about this down in the comments below. I'm definitely all ears because there are lots of rules, as I recently found out, when it comes to buying to rent. Good thing I like learning. Number 6, take risks when you're young. When you're young, and I'm talking early 20s or so, you're likely not going to have dependents. You're also likely to be super ambitious and have more energy overall, a nothing to lose mentality, if you will, because even if you make a mistake or bad investment, you have time to make up for it. And on the other hand, if you take 1 or 2 risks early on in life and they pan out, you could be set for life. Your 20s or even your 30s is the time to start a new company, invest aggressively, take a new job opportunity, or even move halfway across the world on a whim if something lucrative or exciting potentially awaits. Because if not now, then when? If you don't take risk when you're young, you're very unlikely to do so when you're older. And too often people stay in their lower paying job because it's easy. It's what they know. But if your gut says it's time to move on, move on. If your gut says start a new adventure or side hustle, go for it. And if your gut says to start a business, invest in an index fund or buy that rental property, do that. Take risks, listen to your heart and gut, follow your passions, and the money will follow. I can't guarantee it, of course, but I can guarantee staying in that same job and doing what you've always done will get you, again, the same results you've always gotten. And yes, most businesses do fail within the first 5 years, as you've likely heard. And yes, the grass isn't always greener on the other side in terms of jobs, but you know what's worse than failure or regular green colored grass? Regret. I never get upset about failing because you can learn and get better. I get upset about not starting, not trying. I get upset having regret. Number 7, become a minimalist. No, hear me out. I'm not saying what you actually think I'm saying. I'm not suggesting you become a minimalist in the traditional sense, own only 30 items, wear black t-shirts, and live in a tiny apartment with nothing but white walls. Change your name to Matt Diabella. I mean, you could do all that and save some money, but I'm actually talking about the principles of minimalism and applying them to finance and elsewhere in your life. Now, in terms of being a financial minimalist, it helps you keep things simple on your path to $1 million. You don't need 1 million credit cards to score a bajillion credit card points. Those don't increase your net worth. You don't need 1 million net worth tracking apps. Just find one good one. I like and use and recommend Personal Capital. Find outstanding retirement investment accounts and roll them over so that you only have one. Same goes with any personal IRAs. And don't waste time researching individual stocks. Buy them all, the entire stock market with an index fund or an S&P 500 index fund option. And again, in terms of minimalist principles, you could become a business minimalist, a company of one. I'm talking about keeping things simple, keeping things easy, avoiding distractions. Get very clear with your goals and your future for the business. This will help you stay organized and stay on track. If you want to start a business, consider making it an online-only business. Think of a problem that fascinates you and try to help others solve it. Start with one employee, yourself. Don't focus on revenue in year one. Give away your best content for free. Build a following, build an email list, sell an inexpensive product, create and sell a more expensive product, and continue to upsell from there. In terms of technology, try to find an all-in-one solution. I'm launching my new site and course via Kajabi, and it has already made my life 10 times easier. Learn about affiliate marketing, build a brand, find your why, and chase after it. And of course, what I just described is actually what I'm working on. So I'm 10 months into year 2, and I haven't made a profit, and that's exactly where I want to be. I'm following a passion. Learning and sharing finance education online is in my core. It's what makes me happy. For 2 years, I've written books, shared content on this channel, sold audiobooks, of course, built an email list, okay, it's still pretty small, given away tons of information for free, and focused on helping people. Any money I've made, I reinvest back into the business. I've spent it on outsourcing work, upgrading equipment like microphones, and I don't spend money until I have it. And just 2 videos ago, I actually announced I'm working on a finance course. If you haven't signed up to be notified when doors are open later this month, you can still do so at themoneyresolution.com. Plus, in my last video, I actually put on screen a promo code to score you a discount. So watch that video next if you like not paying full price. I'm gonna teach you my 7-step system for saving your first or next $10,000. That's it. Now you know my 7 tips for how to go from $0 to millionaire in just 10 years. And let's quickly recap on screen. First, believe in yourself and be willing to work hard for it. Break it down into realistic annual goals, weighted, of course, in the back half. Focus on increasing your income at work or outside of it, and passive income is best. Invest early and often. Invest in real estate. Take risks, especially when you're young. And finally, become a minimalist. Apply the same principles of minimalism to other areas in your life, especially business if you're an entrepreneur. Now, how about 2 quick bonus tips for you, because I just can't help myself usually in most videos. Tip number 8, I recommend you take time to reflect throughout your journey. Make it a consistent part of your weekly routine. It's critical you reflect on what's working and what's not working and make adjustments from there. If something's working, apply the 80-20 rule to your work and double down on it. And finally, tip number 9, increase your savings rate. It's not how much you make, it's how much you save and invest that matters most. If you're starting at a 10% savings rate and you increase your savings rate 1% every 30 days, you're actually gonna be saving 46% in 3 years. This will make a massive difference in how quickly you'll save $1 million and how quickly you can retire. I personally aim to save half and I automate it so that the money never hits my personal banking account. If you want to learn more about how you can save half and retire possibly early, check out my FIRE playlist next. Most of my recent videos have been on the topic. So personally, I want to keep at this for another 8 years, not to reach my goal of retiring early and having $1 million or more saved and invested, but to grow this channel so I can reach and help more people. I want to become time rich and show others how they can do the same. We should all aim to help ourselves first, but then remember to help others. And if you hear or learn nothing else from this video, remember this: money is actually infinite. You can always make more money, but you can't get back your time. The goal of earning more money, or $1 million in 10 years in this case, is freedom of choice when it comes to your time. Subscribe if you support me and my mission to get people talking about money and excited to master their finances. Like this video if you got some value out of it, especially if it stretched your thinking a bit or motivated you. And of course, check out themoneyresolution.com to learn more about my upcoming course. Best of luck to you and yours on your finance journey. You got this. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you next week on the next one. Oh, and tip number 10, stop spending $5 on lattes every day at Starbucks. Better than Starbucks. Delicious. I'll link below to my cold brew maker in the description. All right, see you guys. Shh. Unique, New York.